BSing with
Who?
BSing with
What?
BSing with Sean K. BSing with
Who?
BSing with
What?
BSing with Sean K. BSing with
Who?
BSing with
What?
BSing with Sean K. BSing with Sean K.
This is the BSing with Sean K podcast. I'm your host, Sean Kneese. For new listeners, I bring on people from all walks of life pursuing their passions in one way or another. And for today, my guest is Andrew Abbott. He's an artist. You do kind of psychedelic paintings, is how you describe your style, right?
Yeah, you could say that.
And yeah, so we met each other doing background work or background acting work. Yes, or I guess that's the more professional term for it, right? Or just got
Yep. Best day job I ever had.
So, how would you describe the art you do, and what can you tell us about yourself?
Oh, geez. The art, well, like you said, it's kind of psychedelic, I guess. I mean, yeah, I like detail, bright colors, you know. I just paint weird stuff. It kind of appears on there. And I post it on social media and stuff, and people like it sometimes. And I've got a couple galleries representing me and sell some stuff every now and then. About me, geez, I don't know. I've done a lot of stuff, but I'm 37. I think. Wait, is that right? 37. Yeah, 37 years old. I have red hair. I was born in Canada. Grew up in North Carolina, Maine. Lived in many states, a couple of different countries. Now I'm living in Brooklyn, and like you said, doing some background acting to help pay the bills.
Yeah, it seems to most of the people doing background seem to be artists or poets or something along those lines.
Definitely.
It's a good, or if you're a writer, it's a lot of times just sitting and holding kind of.
Yep.
Yeah.
You need all kinds of people in the arts, Yep.
Yeah.
Very interesting job for sure. You never know what you're going to be doing on any given day.
And I guess you came to Brooklyn because more opportunities as far as art, I guess, or.
Well, yeah, that was definitely part of the reason, I guess. Well, hoping that would, be part of it. I mean, I don't know. My wife and I were living in Maine and just kind of decided to move down here. This is where we met years ago. And, yeah, I didn't know I was going to be doing the acting thing, but I got into that and I really love it. And, yep, painting, acting. I don't know. I haven't really gotten much going on as far as art. I mean, I'm definitely working, but haven't really done many shows in New York since I've been here, or participated in many. So, but I mean, it's no rush. There's plenty of time, and the whole world's right at your fingertips on the web. So, I don't know. It's a weird world.
So, do you think you'll ever try to pursue acting in any way, or is that more just you like doing the background work to pay the bills?
Yeah, I'm happy being in the background right now. I mean, that's acting to me. I mean, I've struggled enough doing just that, and I can't even imagine having to memorize pages of lines and stuff. So I'm not really trying to go in that direction, but I'm willing to try whatever comes my way. Who knows? But yeah, and there's time to do drawings and holding and bring a sketchbook and work on some drawings while I'm sitting around and holding, which sometimes there's lots of time to just You're just sitting there.
Yeah. They
You
usually
do whatever
call
you
more
want.
people than they use and all that stuff.
Yep, that's true. Sometimes they don't even use you.
Yeah. And then, so how did you get into this style of art, like the sort of psychedelic or abstract kind of art you do?
Geez. I mean, I've been doing this style since I went to college down in North Carolina, graduated in 2002. I mean, even back then, I kind of had the same style I have now. It just kind of evolved. I don't know. I'm definitely influenced by like Dali and Magritte. There's the big time artists that you see in art history books. Definitely initially influenced by those artists, and then later on learned about other artists, met artists, and it's weird to it's hard to pinpoint like where things come from, but I mean, I can look at my stuff and see the influence of other artists. I don't know. Kind of hungover right now. Had some beers last night.
Okay.
If I sound weird.
All right. So, so I guess is there like a common theme with your artwork?
I guess kind of like just like the infinity of things, like infinitely smaller, infinitely bigger, and just like the complexity of things. Like I just like to paint kind of a simple shape, like a portrait or like a dog or something, and then just fill it with detail and like try to make it so you can see inside of whatever it is that I painted. And then also like make that look like it's actually inside of itself, like around it is the same thing. I don't know. Sometimes it turns out that way.
Like sort of different dimensions, maybe? I guess that's sort of a vibe I got from some of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I like thinking about that. Dimensions. Yeah, I believe in different dimensions. Different, like each perspective, in a way, each person lives in a different dimension, and even in your daily life, like we experience different dimensions. Like
it's a different world for every person, sort of.
Yeah, I imagine. I mean, it seems that way. It's like almost like everyone's living in their own world, but it's all the same world, same time.
Just different perspectives or perceptions.
Yeah, I guess. It's like you said, dimensions, and I don't know. It's like that's kind of the same thing as like a perspective to me. I mean, it seems that way at this moment, thinking about it. Like just having a different perspective or changing your perspective is almost like going into another dimension in a way. Maybe, I don't know.
So
traveling through the dimensions.
So how has your style developed from when you first started painting until now?
Geez. I guess I started painting in college. I mean, before that, I had definitely did art for years before that. Even when I was a little child, I used to. Probably the stuff I did when I was a little kid was more useful, more, people might respect it more than what I do now, because I used to do like pretty cool stuff when I was a little kid. I would like design houses or mountain bikes and like I think they were pretty good like designs and like sketches, like really, precise lines and stuff, and like, I don't know. I feel like I can't even do that now. I don't know what that was all about. Kids are weird.
So
I guess I was. I don't know.
So I guess, is there any paintings you've done over the years that are like the most meaningful to you? Or...
Jeez. Not really. I mean, sometimes I feel that way about something, and then it kind of wears off, and I'll start. It's kind of like whatever I'm working on is the most important one, and all the ones in the past are. I mean, I don't know. I'm. It's different for each one, I guess. You know, it's like I can look back and see something I did years ago that I didn't like back then, and then like it, and you know, or yeah, it's weird. It goes back to the perspective thing, and it's like things look differently at different times. It's like, I don't know. What was the question?
Like, what are some of the most meaningful paintings you've done?
Oh, actually, yeah, I can answer that a different way. It's like I've done some weird projects. Like I've done a couple commissions that were kind of meaningful in that way. Two of them actually, okay, this one was weird. It's like a friend of mine wanted me to paint a picture of his sister-in-law who had passed away, like a portrait. And I was like, you know, I don't know if I can do that. I've never even met her. That's a really weird situation. I'm not really that comfortable doing any commissions anyway, let alone painting a person who's just passed away, who I never even met. But he kept asking me to do it, and I was like, all right, I'll try it. And I've really felt like I was having like a interaction with this like woman who's passed away, and like, you know, it was like communicating with a ghost. I felt like I was. Anyway, it turned out okay. They liked it.
It was just sort of a eerie feeling, I guess, painting someone.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm into the supernatural. I feel like I'm living in like definitely a supernatural life, and maybe it's delusions, you know, but definitely feel like, you know, communication with spirits of some kind, and you know, maybe that's, again, who knows, maybe it's all in my head, but I definitely live that way and like feel stuff like that.
Yeah,
which I mean, that's nothing special. Like I feel like most people kind of live that way.
Like interacting with spirits in one way, or is that?
Or yeah, or like perceiving them, or like thinking about maybe loved ones that have passed away and feeling
hoping
that
they're there on some level, I guess, or
yeah, or you know, like even talking to them, you know, even not getting a response, but like, you know, like maybe in your head you're walking down the street and like having a conversation with somebody who's not really there. Like, you know, you ever do that? You're like kind of, I'm not talking about like a living or a dead person, but like, do you ever have like an imaginary conversation with a friend or something?
Lot, like,
yeah, I do it all the time. It's like, I mean, and you can do that with people that have passed away. It's like, it's weird. It's like, in that way, it's like, you can almost kind of imagine everyone is kind of also on this other level existing. You know, it's like, think about that. Like, maybe right now, somebody's having an imaginary conversation with you.
Yeah.
That's some weird shit.
Yeah.
Somebody could be walking down the street, you know, in Texas or something, like, thinking about you, having a conversation, like an imaginary conversation with you at this moment.
That's interesting, yeah.
I don't know. That's weird. That's nice to imagine.
Yeah. So, what's the latest news with your art, I guess, and what do you have planned for the future?
Jeez. Well, I think the Moberg Gallery, that's in Des Moines, is their main base. So they have space in Chicago, and I think they're gonna probably be hanging up some stuff at some point this year. I mean, at least they're gonna be framing some stuff, and so I don't know. Maybe they won't hang it up. I don't know. They definitely hang up my stuff, and I don't even know about it, sometimes, and that's great, they sell work every now and then, and it's a good gallery to have representing me. So that's about all I have going on right now. I've been getting published and stuff a little bit. I've got this guy Steve Luttrell has a book coming out next year, and I did the artwork for the cover of it. There's also an album, a band called Gringo Star, and they put my artwork on the front of it, the album cover, and it looks really cool. The Cafe Review, that's a poetry publication, recently used my work on the cover and also work on the inside. So stuff like that is kind of ongoing, and every now and then I can earn a little bit of money that way, but not much. It's I've always had not always, but generally I've always had a day job and try to do something interesting and like stimulating, so I've done a bunch of different things. I have at times committed to just painting and just selling paintings, which is, you gotta like really hustle, and like, if somebody says, oh yeah, I want to buy that, you can't just wait for them to like send you a check. You gotta like kind of like remind them every once in a while until they send it, and like, or whatever, it's like, but right now I'm not even like, I don't know, I'm burnt out on like trying to sell my own paintings, it's like I'm
so album art or stuff like that's more the way.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
So like album art or doing.
Yeah, I love doing stuff like that. I mean, generally, I'm just like, if somebody wants to use my work for something like that, I'm just like, yeah, just pick out something you like and let me know which one you like, and just so I can double check if it hasn't been used for the same thing or something like that, because I've gotten in trouble with that before. Like, I've got the same painting was published in 2 different poetry publications, and then one of them got mad at me. Like, he was like, hey, you don't do that, you can't get your thing published in that, and this one too. And I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense, probably shouldn't do that. I guess it depends, it's like, you can do that if it's not going to like conflict with the other one, but I guess there's situations where it's like, can't do that. But anyway, what I was saying was, yeah, I'm just not really worrying about selling paintings right now. And that's a good feeling. But maybe it's not good, because it's like, I feel like if I was worried more about it, I would sell more. So I don't know. I'm still doing them anyway, and they're it's like it's like accumulating real estate or something. If I was like a real estate mogul or something, or if I was selling real estate, it's like, it's kind of nice because I can just like, I'm just building the real estate. I'm just like making more paintings, and it's like, I can make as many as I want, or just but it's not like real estate. I mean, definitely not as valuable, and people don't want it as much, it's like, but anyway, I'm rambling.
So how does being an artist differ from with the different places you've traveled to?
Hmm. I've kind of always been about the same, but yeah, it's like I've always had a similar type of studio area set up wherever I was. But I mean, I have been to a bunch of places. I've been in some different situations as far as art. Let's see, like I was in the army for a while. So that kind of, at that point I was still painting. I mean, I'd never planned on not painting, so I had a big stack of like 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper that I just kept working on and working on. And I think I did some good paintings during that time, but it was like the space was really limited, so I had to do those, had to have like, I could have a whole bunch of paintings and work on them, and still it doesn't take up any room. I could just pull them all out and, it's like a whole bunch of paintings right there, not taking up any space. And I still kind of work that way. I've never really been able to do really big stuff, so it's like there's still things to look forward to in the future, or still challenges, to
That was Army in U.S. or
Yep.
Canada?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a weird experience, I was a medic.
Okay.
And attached to field artillery, but it's a good life in a way, and it was a good experience, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it was weird.
So you have like a medical background as sort of a backup, and you chose to just go with art instead, or?
Well, all of the medical training that I received was in the Army, and I did receive a lot of medical training, but I kind of, during that time, was thinking like, people were like, yeah, you can go into the medical field after this, you can get this job or that job, or continue in the military, or it's definitely a good stepping to become a medic in the Army. If you want to go into the medical field, it's a great path, because it's like it's a really, you definitely learn a ton. But I kind of realized I didn't want to do that. After I got out, I was like, that was it. I didn't do anything medically after that. Actually, at one point I did volunteer at a hospital, but I wasn't doing anything medical. I was just like, I had time, and I was like, I want to do some volunteering, so I was kind of just like pushing people in wheelchairs around in the hospital from one room to the other, talking to people and stuff, and that didn't last long. But yeah, I'm done working in the medical field, I think. But I definitely have abilities as far as that. It's like it's good to have those kind of first aid abilities. If somebody gets like severely injured, I can kind of, I don't know, maybe I can hopefully do something. I definitely have the training, but luckily that stuff hasn't really happened around me that much, And in the country we live in, it's so easy, you just call 911, ambulance is there in a couple minutes.
And has that experience influenced any of your art, or?
Yeah, maybe. Actually, like the anatomy and stuff. Maybe that explains all, like, why I'm like always painting like the interior of like these creatures. I'm like painting their fake organs and stuff. Yeah, who knows? Maybe that's where that came from. Good call, Sean.
Found it out right here on BSing.
You figured it out.
Yeah, right on BSing.
Hell yeah.
So, what is like the process for working on a piece, and how long does it take you?
It depends. It's generally I've got a lot of things going on at once, and I might work on something for a few days and then put it in a closet for a few years, and then pull it out again, start working on it again. So it's it's really hard to say how long even one thing takes. I mean, it's like on a daily basis, if I'm painting, like today, for example, I'll spend a lot of time on probably 2 or 3 pieces at once, kind of jumping between them. And, I don't know, yeah, things can take years and years. But I mean, I've done those, like the commissions I did, I can do them pretty quick, I can do a painting pretty quick if I have a plan for something. But, in a couple days or whatever. I don't know. Depends.
And is there anything else maybe we haven't covered as far as your work or anything else you're working on or anyone you're working with that you'd want to bring up?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that have always kind of helped me out, and, I'd like to thank everyone, who's family and friends. Also, Natalie Charia is representing me too, and she's sold some of my work. Yeah, and, all the galleries over the years that have shown my work and publications, it's, I love it. I love being an artist, and, yeah, social media is really big with me too. Like I'm Andrew Abbott on like Facebook and Instagram, and, Instagram especially right now is just, it's great because you can just put something on there, and, it's so easy to just upload a new painting. I can paint it, take a picture and put it on there and advertise it to like thousands of people. That's great.
You just put like the right hashtags and draws people.
Yeah,
right?
That's kind of my favorite thing as far as being an artist, as far as exhibiting. I mean, I love doing art shows too. It's not one's better than the other, but I just want to say, like, yeah, social media, I really enjoy posting my art on social media. But anyway, I don't know, that's about it. Sometimes I smoke pot. Maybe that influences the work too. I just thought I'd mention that.
Okay. That's why it's that kind of, I guess, psychedelic kind of
I've
60s
definitely
feel to it. I guess.
Experimented, every now and then. Not like I do drugs all the time, but I've tried out a couple hallucinogens over the years, for the experience. Definitely is gives you another perspective, at least temporarily.
So
not that I would recommend them or anything, but who knows.
So I guess anything else before we wrap up? I mean,
I'd like to thank you for the interview. It's been fun, Sean.
Yeah.
And, I'll see you on set.
Yeah, sounds good. It's always cool to talk with people about their process for what they do and how they got started. But
I like talking about it. Appreciate it.
And I guess you already told people where they could find you on social media. I know you also have a main website.
Oh yeah, it's allabbott.com, ALLABBOTT.com. So yeah, and that's got links to different things and stuff. But yep.
All right, well, I think that does it for this episode of BSing with Sean K. Thanks, Andrew, for coming on.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Oh yeah, same to you. And I should have more episodes coming soon. And if you want to keep updated with future episodes of BSing with Sean K, go to bsingwithseank.blogspot.com. That's bsingwithseank@blogspot.com. It has a link to my Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube on there, and also a link where you can subscribe to my feed. And that's about it for this episode. I'll catch you on the next one.